everyone, today's video is going to be a 3 looks 1 palette with my Simply Posh Coastal palette. I did do a poll up on my community tab asking you guys which one you would prefer me to do first, the Simply Posh Coastal or the Italian Spritz from Too Faced, and you guys chose the Simply Posh Coastal. My cat is here with me. Love this color story. It has a little bit of everything. I really wanted all 3 of my looks to be A, very different, and B, something different that I haven't done with the palette before. I have done plenty of other looks with this palette, and you can of course go down in the columns, and that's kind of what they do to help you make a color story. But there are so many other odds and ends color combinations that you can do. You know, switch up the shimmer, switch up the mattes, switch up placements of shimmers and mattes. So you should be able to see a little differentiation between all 3 of my looks. And this look I'm wearing today is the last and final look. I am going to get right into the speed tutorials of this. I feel like speed tutorials are a lot more streamlined than when I used to talk through every single tutorial. It was a little cumbersome to edit, and I also have like space restrictions on my phone, so it's just easier for me to do the 3 speed tutorials and this big talk through video as a whole. The first look I did was very dark grungy blues. When you look at this palette, it doesn't look very dark. It has a lot of mid-tone mattes, light mattes, and of course your variety of shimmers. But a lot of people have complaints with Simply Posh palettes because they don't go deep enough. Very valid point, but for me and for many other people, mid-tones is about as dark as I go. And I feel like in, my 3rd look, today's look, and especially this first look, I went a little bit more deep with the look, give a little bit more dimension with this look. I really enjoy the shade Saltwater. It's like a blue to purple shift. Now, with that being said, I wish there was some sort of purple in this palette. I love the combination of the grungy greens and the sandy browns. I feel like they complement the palette so incredibly well. But I feel like I wish we had some purple thrown in here. Like, I love and enjoy the peachy row and the pink row, but they look very similar. I feel like it would be more beneficial if we had like a purple row to help anchor that saltwater shade. The second look I did was I pretty much went straight down in the like sandy brown shades, that column. I pretty much went down and then just did a pop of blue in the inner corner. Classic beachy look. I really enjoyed that look, and I love the tones that are in this palette. I did not quite do a no pan left behind situation because I didn't want to like overdo these looks. These are looks that I have naturally done, naturally pulled for this palette. I didn't want to like force myself to no pan left behind it or anything, but I did do the entire column of the sandy browns. I think they go very well with the palette. I also think that with especially that shoreline, which is the darker brown, I say darker, it's a mid-tone brown. I feel like you could use them with the peach and the pink to more ground out a peach or a pink look. I really enjoy this palette. I love the color story of this palette, and the reason why I purchased Snow Angel is because I have the Coastal palette and because I love the Coastal palette so much. I really enjoy the formula. I think the mattes are very blendable, very pigmented to the point where you can still work with them. They pack a punch on the eyes. I did not blend this blue out with anything else. I just blended the blue with my brush. I'm very impressed with the matte formula. I'm just saying the color variety in the palettes could be better. I know a lot of people have complaints about the depth of the Simply Posh palettes. I personally don't disagree, but how I do my makeup, the way these are laid out and the colors that are chosen are just okay for me, but I know everyone has different preferences. SimplyPosh also has my favorite combination of matte to shimmer ratio. 2/3 matte, 1/3 shimmer, especially with these shimmers that have more of a shifty shade. You can do a lot with these shimmers. You just gotta pair them with separate mattes or different mattes. Love this combination, and this seems to be the theme of all of their other palettes. 2/3 matte, 1/3 shimmer. And I like how you have the column, so if you're new to makeup or you're just not so sure what to do, you can just go down in the columns. Jasper is putting in his 2 cents. Do you like the Coastal palette? No words. I really enjoy SimplyPosh a lot. I wish they knew who I was because I love them a lot. I have purchased 2 palettes on my own. The Coastal palette I did buy on sale, but it was not as good of a sale as my Snow Angel palette. Snow Angel I did wait for, I believe it was 40% off for Memorial Day. So I do have that palette. I would love to do a 3 looks 1 palette with that one as well, more towards the winter time because that feels more fitting. I think this would be a really nice, I guess, travel palette. I personally don't like to travel with my indie palettes just because 1, they're more expensive. 2, they tend to be more fragile. I've never had any issues with this palette, either breaking or, you know. I feel like this could be a very nice travel palette. It has a nice mirror, the packaging, and I'll say this for packaging of all SimplyPosh palettes, they're quite simple. It is a simple background and the word of the palette is just on top. It's very simple. I wish they would be a little bit more creative with their palette packaging, but their creativity goes into the color story of the palette. Really love and enjoy the SimplyPosh palette. How many times do I have to say that until you understand the gist? SimplyPosh in their pre-orders, I understand why they pre-order, especially for new launches, but keeping certain palettes in stock. I know a lot of my friends on here want the Coastal palette. They have not gotten the Coastal palette because now it's no longer available. They do a lot of, I guess, more limited edition, limited releases. I mean, they do tell you when it's going to be the last and final straw. Like the Snow Angel, you're not going to be able to get it anymore. They have the Cozy Cabin 50% off right now. So close to buying it because I really love that palette, but I don't need it. I really don't need it. That one's 50% off. They say it's no longer going to be available. Why does SimplyPosh do this? Like, their palettes are very good. The color story, the formula is very good. It's just, I feel like people don't really want to talk about them on the YouTube space because once you get the palette and talk about it, you probably can't even buy it anymore. And that's just the YouTube thing, you know, with creator codes and affiliate links and all this other things. People don't want to talk about palettes that are no longer available. SimplyPosh is amazing in terms of formula and everything. If you follow them on Instagram and keep up with their palettes, I recommend fully because I've tried the Coastal and another one of their palettes, very impressed with the formula. And I really don't think you'd be disappointed. I feel like SimplyPosh isn't talked about enough because people don't want to talk about them or showcase them in videos because you can't buy them. They can't make money off of you. And I hear that excuse all the time in like declutter videos. Well, this is no longer available. I can't talk about it. You can still talk about it. There are plenty of people who have the Coastal palette. There are plenty of people who have color stories like this in their collection. You can talk about it, trust me. I have talked about so many discontinued palettes. I know a lot of you guys have this palette. Some of you guys haven't used it at all. You know who I'm talking to. From when I'm filming this, I'm sure you've used it since I've filmed. I have no complaints. No personal complaints with this palette. I really enjoy all 3 looks. I think my favorite look out of the 3, my least favorite was a smoky blue, just because that was a little out there for me. I'm thinking day 2's look was my number 1. Today's look is a number 2. And that dark smoky look is look number 3. I don't have a code with SimplyPosh, but I will go and find my friend's code that I have used to buy this palette down below. I'll leave her Instagram down below as well because she does amazing posts and a lot with SimplyPosh palettes, and she doesn't care that you can't buy the palettes anymore. I really love her. That's who I use to do my palette. I highly recommend you use her code and follow her down below for any future SimplyPosh purchases. If you enjoy 3 looks from palette videos, I do have an entire playlist linked down below. I also do a lot of eyeshadow palette related content, so make sure you subscribe and stick around. Comment below what was your favorite look. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and I shall see you guys next time.